What is up, everybody? Vs. TV today. So we're gonna talk about this controversial Steam refund policy story, the event that just happened. So apparently, any developer quits making games after alleged abuse of Steam's refund policy prevented them from profiting on their latest title. So apparently, people were playing this game. The game was really short; it's like under 2 hours long. So Steam's refund policy is that if you play a game for up to 2 hours, you can fully refund it for no questions asked. Refund policy. And since the game is super short, people have been playing the game, completing the game, but just refunded their payment because the game is so short, even though they have completed the game. So it's caused a lot of controversy. I'm against that. Like if you beat the game, you shouldn't get refunded. That's pretty crazy. If you were just to take advantage of the system that Steam has in place, and some scumbag stuff because people want to say support the developers, but these people are obviously not supporting the developers. They're playing their product and just not paying them for it. So that's some scumbag stuff right there. So yeah, this guy says he quits. He's quit making games, so that's kind of sad to see. But here is the actual article. Any developer is stepping away from making games after claiming that abuse of Steam's refund policy has prevented them from profiting on their latest title. The developer in question is Amiga Games, is the solo indie developer behind Find Yourself, Locked Up, and recently released Summer of 58. Each of their games has positive reviews on Steam, including Summer of 58. However, that hasn't stopped players from refunding the game, which costs just $9. Immediately after playing it, in most cases that would be possible, but because Summer of 58 takes us an hour and a half to beat, it's possible for players to request a refund through Steam. Yeah, so people like to say, we're going to support these developers and all this, like, we're supporting developers type nonsense. Obviously, that's not happening. They are not doing so whatsoever. And like people like to say, it shouldn't matter how long a game is either. Their card is being pulled too because they like to say game length shouldn't matter. What game this game this artist's vision is only like an hour and a half long, and people are still taking advantage of it. So game length does matter in a way. So yeah, this situation kind of sucks, but let's read what people say in the comment section about this. The refund policy has been there for a long while, so this is hardly a rug pull. I'm surprised people are arguing against the system, which is pro-consumer for once. The 2 hour policy should stay. I agree. The 2 hour policy should stay, but it should be like, hey, if you be like most of the game, you shouldn't be able to refund the game whatsoever. Because it's like, that stops them from making these short games. If they want to make the short games, that stops them from doing that. So this person says, no, it shouldn't. It should be after you pass a certain percentage of the game. Okay. Now, maybe I'm overthinking things, but if the author started his own website, couldn't he dictate the terms? In some jurisdiction, like Australia, Steam has no choice but to offer refunds. A 90-minute game is like the equivalent of a coupon at the supermarket. It's unreasonably short to charge $9. Worst take I've seen in a hot minute. Other platforms are available. Why is the game so short then? Short indie horror experiences that cost less than $10 to enjoy. With all the developers of the game receiving around 89% positive reviews, they make good games. The game shows because it doesn't have unnecessary padding and is true of the developer's intended vision. The abuse is not from Steam, but from the ungrateful who, in addition to finish it, return it. I'm assuming the game didn't say how short of a game it was, but at the same time, why should they? The policy should be reflective of the average gamer's playtime. The data could either be reported by the dev or the average player base. If that charge now allows us to make a 90-minute game, then isn't it good they stop developing? What? Should they charge more than a 90-minute movie is $15 and it isn't interactive? The fact that several of the people commenting on this think it's okay to screw a developer out of their money by abusing a refund policy says a lot about the site. Doesn't matter if the game is shorter than the refund timer, these people still played it and beat it regardless. Look for alternatives. I suggested an achievement tracker, for example, using either halfway through the game's market or completed the game as the market is non refundable. There are some games that need a reverse and refund policy like Outriders online all the time and had. I don't know, I'm not gonna read the rest of it. You don't measure quality by time but enjoyment. I ever so rarely, literally once refunded a Steam game because I do enjoy or take lots of time searching and thinking about a game before feeling if I want it. They need to make their games longer. Steam is going to be required to have a refund policy due to the laws of certain countries, so that isn't going to go away. They chose Steam as a platform to sell their game on. They need to find another way to exist within that space or fail. Epic Games is doing a new indie thing. They could just put their games there. The game was probably poop. People will abuse it. It's good that they have a refund system like it, but hell, people will abuse it a lot. Damn, that sucks. Steam is a mess. I read the goodbye letter truly sad. Any devs need that money so they can make more games, improve upon it, still be able to live and eat. Any games in general are short and there's a market for them. This just seems like people just took advantage of the situation. Make a longer game next time. This is like a short movie. Make longer games, not 2 hours, 10 hours games, and you won't have any problems or refunds. Poor dev get the shorter end of the bargain. $9 and on 2 hours long. Policy is clear. Devs should feel safe for themselves. Devs take a risk. Unfortunately, people have no regards for others. Morally, Steam should help reimburse based on the number of people who played. 30 minutes or something. Policy should be game by game. Well, the refund policy is required by law for Steam to have, and it works great. I guess the moderation could be to blame, but honestly, it's really just us people doing things that are the problem. This is a great thread to find us entitled people to block. A lot of problematic. It's okay to rob any developers because they didn't make their $9 game 8 hours long. Takes here. Did you ask for a $50 refund for the movies because it was only 90 minutes long? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people would prove to be some scumbags in the comment section. Let's read the quote tweets if you're saying it in the quote tweets now. That dev should take the L. Everyone has the right to refund. A S isn't what I expect the product. Learn to take criticism. People judge the value of video games based on time spent and nothing more. Oof. Everyone's saying, oh, $9 is too much. Valve takes 30%, meaning $6.30 to the dev. As for the refund policy, the dev could have contracted their Steamworks manager and adjusted their approval window. I manage the administration business side of our license. I have a contract. Okay. What a dick move to finish a 1.5 hour game and refund it. Wait, what? Some of the comments on here, sigh. Imagine buying a burger, eating it all, then bringing the wrapper back to the restaurant demanding a refund because it was too small compared to the container. This is basically the mental gymnastics people are using for theft. I feel bad for this company. Hopefully, this sparks a change. Easiest to me would be to tie the time you can refund a game to a percentage of the average completion time as stated by the developer. Damn. This is trying to make Steam look bad. Charge $1 for an hour-and-a-half game is just fraud. I know games are hard to make, but I can buy a game with at least 100 hours of playtime for just $20. The average person doesn't have the money to treat in their backyard like millionaires. What? The capitalistic version of Murphy's Law. Anything that customers can exploit will be exploited. They're entitled to a full refund within 2 hours of buying your game. Better make your game more than 2 hours. I mean, I do kind of. I mean, this is the S situation, but I don't think Steam's going to change their policy anytime soon. So I do kind of believe he should have put like at least like a half hour more of padding into it, like just making sure that they can't beat the game. Let's just make it like 2.5 hours just to avoid that policy. I was like, you could say it's not part of his vision, his creative vision, but still, it'll avoid a lot of this BS because like that one guy said, if somebody can exploit it, they're gonna exploit it. It's just how people are. I was like, to be honest, but let's see. This is so dumb. Thank you for playing this on stream last night. I enjoyed the story and the scares. Okay. Make it a longer game. Steam refunds policy has been like that for ages and shouldn't change. People quick to blame the dev, and really people need to stop being cheap scumbags, refund to all their games, and Steam needs to change its rules to prevent this us from happening again. I hate to say it, but this is just tough luck. If people want to be a-holes and refund a game, you can't do much about that. Plus, Steam's refund policy is great for the consumer, so it really shouldn't be changed. Game refunds should only be allowed if the game has been played under 15 minutes. This is the equivalent of piracy. Steam has a policy where you can get a refund on your game if you play it for less than 2 hours. This game is 90 minutes long, so when people who played to completion and enjoyed it were getting refunds just because they could, truly awful that people took advantage like this. Yeah. I said once again, I said it once, I'll say it again. If you buy a game, play it and leave a positive review, you are able to receive a refund. If a game is under 2 hours, the policy should be amended for 15 to 30 minutes of gameplay for a refund. Stop this because the devs will go to Windows and Epic. Just make game longer. No, the devs are entitled to make their games the length they feel is best for the experience. They should allow us to do this without players abusing the refund policy to get a free ticket to the whole experience. It really sucks when any devs have to suffer through. I wish Steam would change their rules when it comes to refunding games within under 2 hours played. People these days abuse the system and it becomes detrimental to the creators. So I'm going to conclude it right there. A lot of people gave their opinions about this. I definitely see your opinion down below of this video. Leave a like if you like the video as well. As always, thanks for watching and peace.